Solving simultaneous equation using matrices. Let's say we want to solve for x and y given the following two equations. One of the equations is ax plus by is equal to m, and the second equation that we are given is cx plus dy is equal to n. Now the coefficient of x in the first equation is a, in the second equation it is c. The coefficient of y in the first equation is b, and in the second is d. So what we basically do is we set up a matrix equation. Now as you see over here, the first column takes up the coefficients of x, which is a and c, and the second column in this matrix, in the coefficient matrix, it takes up the values of b and d, which are the coefficients of y. Multiply that by x and y, you get the result of the two equations, which are a, m, and n. And that in general is just an equation ax is equal to b. Now to solve this equation, what we need to do is make x the subject of the formula. To make x the subject of the formula, we got to use the inverse of a and multiply it to b. The inverse of a is 1 over the determinant, and then you interchange a with d, so d goes up there, a goes down here, and you change the sign of the other two elements along the other diagonal. Multiply that by m and n, compute and simplify. That will give you the answer. And of course the determinant, as you know, is ad minus bc. Let's look at one example here. We want to solve negative 6x plus 4y is equal to 8 and negative 4x plus 2y is equal to 2. These are the two equations we're dealing with. Let's set up a matrix equation. In this case, the coefficient of x, negative 6 and negative 4, they take up the first column. The coefficient of y take up the second column. And multiplied by the unknowns, x and y, gives you 8 and 2. That's generally ax is equal to b in that particular form. Now to solve, all we need to do is multiply the inverse of the coefficient matrix to 8 and 2. So how do you find the inverse of the coefficient matrix? The inverse of coefficient matrix is that 1 over the determinant, and in this case the determinant is negative 6 times 2 plus or minus negative 4 times 4, which actually gives us a positive 4. So the inverse is 1 over 4 times interchange a with d, so 2 goes up there, 6 goes down here, and you got change the sign of the other two elements. So 4 over here initially was positive, now it's negative, and therefore the inverse is 1/4 into 2, negative 4, 4, negative 6. After that, you multiply this inverse to matrix 8, 2, and using a matrix multiplication, so you go across the first row and down the column. So 2 times 8 plus negative 4 times 2 will give you the first element, and then 4 times 8 plus negative 6 times 2 will give you the second element, and you're still multiplying it by the 1/4. So 1/4 of 8 and 1/4 of 20 ends up giving you 2 and 5. Therefore we say that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 5.